All right, YouTube, today we have a burst fade. We're gonna turn our client to the side. Boom, boom, boom. We is gonna put on some gloves because of Flight Reacts. He don't like barbers with no gloves, so we're gonna go ahead and put on some gloves. I know we don't like cutting with gloves just because it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like the clip was too slippery, but we're gonna put on some gloves. We got a nice fire burst fade for y'all. Easy, easy steps, bro. Easy steps, bro. All right, y'all, the first thing we're dealing with hair like this is straight hair. We're gonna get some little clips and we're gonna get a comb. We're not gonna get any kind of comb. We're gonna get a comb like this. This comb has a natural like parting spot right here. So you can part the hair. But we're gonna section off everything that's gonna sit at the top of our client's head. So I'm just kind of gonna play with it, not do no hard lines, anything like that. The way you tell if something is supposed to be in a certain place, we're gonna move the camera so I can see a little bit more. But the way you tell, see how, tip your head a little bit for me, like right there. See how everything, like right here at the roots, the hair wants to kind of go down and then it curls up for real. So that tells me that this piece of hair right here wants to go down. And then everything that's kind of lifted up or trying to lift up at the scalp wants to go up. Like that, boom. So you're kind of gonna get his natural parting just because he has curly hair. It's not, you know, buku straight or nothing like that. And we're just gonna section all of this off. Get our pen. Just like that. And we're gonna do that to both sides. So this is all the hair that we will be cutting on the side. And just because we're gonna do for this haircut, you see how he has a lot of weight right here? We wanna keep the majority of this weight only because this hair needs something to sit on. That's why people keep weight right here on the sides, because the hair at the top, imagine imagine making this like a skin fade all the way to the top and not keeping none of this weight. This hair is just gonna collapse and you're gonna have a lot of hangover. So this right here, keeping this hair, the majority of this hair, is gonna keep us from having that situation or a disconnected cut. We want everything to flow. We want the burst fade to flow into the top of his head. And y'all, I like to do a half of the glove, but the tools that we're gonna be using today, we're not gonna be using it all the way. This is just gonna just to bald out the lines. We have these right here. Brand new clippers. These are very, very good. Trimmer and a clipper set. We're gonna put both of them in there for y'all. Boom. Before this video come out, they will have a review. So, and these are the boost, y'all. 2% battery. We're gonna use these to fade. Hopefully they do good. This is gonna be my first time actually using these on straight hair. So boom. Trimmer and clipper. These don't hit hard. That's why we're gonna use it to set it as guideline. But we're gonna be using these. These are my other boosts. These are my hitters. So we're gonna be using these to make our sharp lines in the back, the V, and everything. All right, so at the bottom of my client's hair, we're gonna be using a brush instead of a comb. And then when we get to the top, we're gonna more so use a comb than a brush. So right here, we wanna keep this C cup. So we're gonna do, curve our hair, and these do hit just a tad bit, but it's not gonna be no sharp lines. And then we're gonna come right here. We're not gonna dig in right here because we need room to fade. But we're just gonna make a half of a circle above his ear. Just like that. And y'all, I have a new camera. If anything looks different, y'all, so pretty excited to use this camera, see what it do. So we're just using this to create this first guideline. We're using a soft trimmer. This would be considered my soft trimmer, just so it doesn't create any harsh guidelines at the bottom. So our fade could look way more better and we will not see. So to make it easier for y'all, the biggest guard that we will be using is a number 2 guard. A number 2 guard, then we're gonna step down to a 1.5, then a 1 guard. And we're doing it in this order right here. And then we got the half guard. This is the smallest guard that you should have in any pack. For some clippers, it's a 0 guard. And we are gonna be using this comb right here. This is my bread and butter when it comes to straight hair. See how we're gonna turn our client to the side just so you can see. Do you see all this hair that just wants to kind of just be over the fade? We're gonna take that out and even it out about right there, just so it could be a lot more even. We're gonna kind of turn our client just so y'all can see. Boom, right there. Re-angle the camera. And this is how I'm gonna do it. Instead of doing clip over comb like this, I'm gonna go downwards and I'm gonna come at a slight angle like this. I'm gonna turn a little bit more. Slight angle like this. And everything below that, it just comes off. And we'll angle it because it is a flick out motion that we'll be doing whenever we cut our client's hair. Y'all, I find it better to do it like this. I don't know why it works for me like this, but this works way better than going like this. Boom, 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 boom. So y'all should try this out. See what it does. It really makes everything even and level to get ready and to prepare us. It gets our foundation together. Now we're gonna start our debulking process. The highest guard that we're gonna be using is our number 2. Level all the way open first. And we're just gonna slightly flick out in the areas that we will be cutting, and these is just cutting like butter. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Hopefully they do good with taking out guidelines. If not, we could just switch to another clipper. That's why it's good to have multiple types of clippers, y'all. And y'all, I'm a barber that works on one side and then, matches one side with the other. I feel like it's easier to match than do them all at the same exact time. And it shortens up your time so you can really focus and concentrate on one thing at a time. So, now after that, we're gonna take our lever all the way open and create our second guideline. And this is our first guideline with the clipper. Remember we did the other guideline with the trimmer, and we're making it about a 1/2 of an inch, not too much, because we do have to have room, remember, for the 2 guard, the 1.5, the 1 guard, and a 1/2 guard. So lever all the way open. And now we're just gonna start fading all of this out, just slowly moving down. And this has a quick lever system. This is good for beginner barbers, y'all. So we just slowly move down from here. And what I mean by slowly moving down, from this point, from this first guideline that we did with the trimmer and this guideline, the second one that we did with the clipper, we just slowly close and we move down to all the way close with these notches. And it shouldn't take too long. Short little time. Y'all, I'm used to like such a heavy lever that when I go down with the lever, it's like clicking 2 times. I'm used to using wall seams, if y'all familiar with that for real. So, boom. And now we have lever all the way closed. And that's it. Just like that. So now we go back up with our number 2 guard, lever all the way open. And we just gonna work at an angle. Now we start the full down fading process, starting with the number 2 guard. We're not gonna worry about any hair up here because we're just gonna take our shears and shear all that in. But now we're gonna start the fading process. Since we laid the foundation, we can see everything that we need to do. Now we just slowly go down. So fading down, the method that I use it because it allows me to keep the type of fade that I want without fading too high. A lot of beginner barbers, they fade up way too high and they find themselves in a predicament to where now they have to refade the whole entire fade. I don't want to do that. I used to do that. I don't want to do it. So now I found a better way because I used to fade up, now I fade down. And this is the best way. A lot of people text me every day saying that this is the best way and it works for them. So boom, lever all the way close. And remember, we have to make enough room for all the guards. We're gonna switch to our brush. And every time we put on a new guard, we start with our lever all the way open. And then we pick up where we left off from the previous guard. Because a fade is a gradual increase or decrease from a lot of hair to a little bit of hair. Either way it goes, it's the same exact thing. So to get a gradual fade to where it looks pixelated, you have to use these guards underneath the guards, or if you're fading up, you have to use the guards above those guards, directly above those guards, to make a smooth transition. Imagine going straight from the 2 guard all the way to the 1 guard, all the way down here, or the 2 guard all the way to the half guard all the way down there. The fade will look choppy. A lot of people try to skip the process, make it a lot faster, but that leaves them with a lot more of a choppier blend. You want to zoom in a little bit for y'all? So, and we're just gonna use our corners to detail. Yo, whenever we're fading, we're using a whole clipper. We're using a whole clipper whenever we're fading, and then when we detail, we just use the corner, just like I'm doing right here. Simple process. And we're just gonna go back in, detail. The lever is all the way closed while detailing. As long as you use your corners with this lever all the way closed, you should be good wherever you go when it comes to detailing. Now we move to the 1 guard. Lever all the way open. Remember, we start with the lever all the way open. Boom. And we're still fading off of our first foundation, that first line that we had set in. This keeps that transition, that bursted fade that we wanted to do. This keeps that angle, y'all, or the foundation of the haircut. That's why we have a foundation for the haircut. This keeps the fade looking like a burst fade. You don't want to lay in the guideline for a burst fade and start fading it like it's a high fade or mid fade or anything like that. That's why you see me and I'm working in this type of motion. And we're just gonna detail in that 1.5 spot with our number 1 guard. Close the lever, move down. And with this technique, you could detail as you go. So, boom, right there. Look at this fade, it's coming out very, very good. Lever all the way open. And just continue to move down. Trick bolt.
That's why I can't listen to you. Ready or not?
You ready or not? All right.
You want it tonight?
Should be. I might be. I should. It's up to 5 people. 4. 4 people. We need 1 more. It'd be hard. Ready or not be hard. It'd be extremely hard. Yeah. We be playing it on the hardest difficulty too. He said what? Come on, man. Ain't about to play no game. We ain't about to play no game. All right, y'all. So we're gonna define the shape a little bit more. That's why I got this and this. These are our cutting shears. I got a swivel blade on there, and these are our thinning shears. So boom, these are the ones with a lot of teeth. These are the ones that's just, normal. So what our cutting shears is gonna do is just define the shape a little bit more. Get it in that shape that we want. It's kind of like a more defined clipper over comb, I want to say. That's how I use them. Not everybody uses them like this, but I use it like this. So just to define the shape, get all these little pieces of hair that's hanging over. Just get the shape that we want. And then that's when you get these bad boys. These are the thinning shears. This should make it seamlessly just blend into the top. We want it to look natural, but we don't want it to look like we're doing too much. We want a lot of this weight kept right there for the fade, for the top of the head. So, and I just oiled these, so do a little bit, move on. Don't really have to do too much. Do it to the back. Y'all ever seen a video when the dude was like right here with these and he cut the dude there? That was tragic, man. I don't even know how why he would release a video like that. It's insane. I wonder if he gets clients. And that's it right there. Now we're gonna finish the other side, then come back and we're gonna line everything up for y'all. All right, y'all, now we're about to start on the back. So we're gonna do, just to lessen this weight a little bit, and just a little bit of clip over comb, bring it out, cutting it. We're not gonna do too much, just enough to where it's good enough to line everything up. What's up, what's up, what's up? And we're just gonna clip over comb all this right here. Make it easy for us. Just like that. Now we're gonna take an alcohol swab, cotton swab, well cotton, alcohol, spray it down. Right, and just wipe everything down. All the areas that we will be lining up, just go ahead and scrub all that in. We'll use a brush to lay it back down. So right there, and we're gonna be using it right here on the C cup and by his beard. And then we're just gonna blow dry everything on cold air. This is what it should look like, y'all. Boom. That's how you know your client, washes his hair and stuff like that. So, and then just blow dry everything while brushing it down on cold air. And we got our Dyson, this is what we're using today. So, very, very, very good blow dry. Now we're gonna take some holding spray. We're using level 3 today. And we're just gonna add holding spray on all the areas that we just put on, or we just put the alcohol on our client. Put your head down for me. Right there. Boom. Make sure this is on, and it is. And what I like to do, y'all, whenever I'm blow drying, I don't like for the hair to get stiff. A lot of the like straight hair will get stiff whenever you put holding spray on them. So I use a comb, and I comb through everything, so it can be kind of stiff, but it's not, laying flat on the client's neck or the surface or whatever it is. Laying flat on the client's skin, y'all. So we use the bigger part of the comb. And this dries it and breaks everything down for us. Boom. Now we're gonna go in and set in our C cup. What we're gonna make a little indent at the top. And then going from the bottom, making the C cup, and just connect the two pieces. Just like that. Y'all, I love doing C cups, or I love doing, curves when it comes to fades and tapers, because it makes the haircut look way 10 times, 20 times more better, y'all. Boom. Just like that. Look how good that looks. Just like that. All right, for the bottom, what we want to do is, boom, we're just going to find the middle piece. It should be right here. Kind of tilt your head a little bit. No, lean back for me and just hold it, like look down, about right there, that's perfect. Boom. Find the middle piece, we're gonna start on this side. And just work your way over. You're gonna work on this side first because the hair kind of wants to flow to this side. Y'all wanna make sure y'all constantly just brushing the hair, so that whenever your client wears this haircut, it can last. Whenever he goes to sleep on his pillow, go to bed at night, maybe you wanna go work out, this hair will hang over whenever he's being active or whenever the hair is touched or anything like that. You wanna make sure that doesn't happen. And our client has a haircut that'll last for a long time. So that's what I'm doing right there. And then everything below that, we just cut it off. Just like that. And then we match this side. He does have a little dip in his neck right there, so don't want to take off too much. We don't want him with no crazy growth, new growth or anything like that. Um, and it's never gonna look crazy straight just because he has a dip right here, 2 dips in his neck. So we're gonna make it look as natural as possible. We don't want to take a lot off. Not everybody's may be like this. Some clients may have like a flat neck, so you cancel it can whenever he holds his head down, does like a complete straight line. But you have to adjust when it comes to every single client. Not every single client's head is the same. Sometimes you have to make adjustments based off of your client and what they have to work with. And that's why we are barbers, brother. Boom. That's why we are barbers. And that is good right there. Now we're just gonna go in there, add a little bit of texture so it could look right. Just kind of just chopping at it, brother. Making everything look like a nice little flow. And then once you're done with that, the haircut is basically done. We're just gonna lean, we're about to lean our client back and use the razor blade. And so now when we let the hair down, y'all, it does have like a slight little bit of hangover. Remember, these hairs do want to go forward. So you only want to touch up this spot just a little bit because you don't want it to look like a roof almost. Or a cut roof. We just want everything to just kind of blend in. So we're barely touching the hair, just going backwards, going against the grain with this comb. And just kind of just snipping at these pieces. Just so everything looks like it just seamlessly just blends in. Just like that, y'all. Don't really take too much. Don't have to do too much. Just like that. Tilt your head for me. Right there. And that'll be good right there. We're about to do the same exact thing to the other side. And now, yeah, we're about to take this razor blade and razor blade everything in. All this stubble right here. And this is how I get my sharp lines with this razor blade. As you can see, boom, look at the sharp line it creates. It gets a nice ash line for me. And that's the finished look that I do for my cuts. And really not much left to it. We're just gonna finish out the video, do his beard real quick. Matter of fact, we're gonna do a little beard work for y'all, just so y'all can see what I do. So the point is to connect it from this taper all the way to the bottom of his mustache. We're gonna tilt his head a little bit, just like right there. Y'all gonna keep re-angling the camera, but I keep moving his head. And basically, we're going at an angle. We're not just going straight down, because if we go straight down, it's gonna be hard for us to make this little curvature right here. And basically, what we're doing, just razor blading everything in there. And y'all, I'm good at kind of just connecting everything. My bad if I get in the middle of the camera, y'all. We're gonna try to move it. Right there, I think that's better for y'all. And I do a dry shave. I know a lot of people do wet shaves, but I feel like, man, wetting a client's hair and putting shaving gel and all that extra stuff, I feel like it just takes too long for me. So that's all. It's all preference, y'all. So and we just want a thin ash line. That's why I keep wiping the ash line off and then going back in now. We don't want nothing too crazy. And that is it. Boom. Here we go. A nice, clean, burst fade, but it's HYB. If you're not handling your business in what you're doing. And we out.
Danny, please don't do anything crazy.